everyone, welcome to the Solo Gaming Spotlight. If you own Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria, or if you watch my review on it, you already know that I like this game, but it's not without its flaws. All the factions play the same, influence is very heavily tied into your ability to score victory points, and while you get a couple of chunkier, thinky turns, it's pretty straightforward for the most part. With the highlight of the game being the available champions that you can purchase with their various effects. So, what does Riftlands add to the game? First, let's start with the biggest change, asymmetry. Every faction now gets a unique player board overlay with its own passive and unlockable ability. I love this. It adds so much replayability as you try out the different factions. Each one now feels different, not just in color, but in how they play. Take the goblins, for example. Their passive lets them convert up to 3 gold into magic when they visit the gold shrine. Their unlockable ability gives them an extra battle die slot, and they gain 2 gold whenever they draft a green die. Plus, they can increase the strength of any die they control. Pretty cool, pretty handy. Now, the biggest addition is the addition of the Riftlands Shrine, and this shrine adds new strategic options. Whenever you visit the shrine, you will draft a die from any of the other shrines on the original game board. And you'll get a discount on the rift you visit the same way you do when you visit the Tactics and Champions shrine, using the number in the bottom left corner of the die you drafted for your discount. However, the Riftlands Shrine costs magic, not gold. So if I was to visit this shrine here, I'd have to pay 2 magic minus my discount, which in this case would be 0. And then I take the relic of my choosing and place one of my expedition chits there. That plus next to the magic cost refers to these expedition chits. So the next time I visit this rift, the cost will be 3 magic before my discount. 2 for the base cost, plus 1 for my expedition chit. The visit after that will be 4, you get it. Just that particular rift though. This rift here, without expedition chits, will cost me 3 magic before any discount. Each relic has its own unique power, and there are 30 different relics. So when you pick up a relic, you can put it in one of your 2 relic spaces on your player board overlay, and you now have an extra power as long as it's on your board. Anytime you pick up a new relic, you may replace one of your active relics with the new relic you just picked up. The old relic will no longer be active, but you will hold on to it in your player area, because the more of each type of relic you collect, the more points you'll score at the end of the game. Also, each rift scores at the end of the game for who has more expedition chits on it, you or your opponent. Ties will end up breaking even. When the AI opponent moves out from the magic shrine, it now moves into the Riftlands Shrine and places one of its expedition chits in the uppermost rift area where it has the least amount of tokens, and takes the leftmost relic. Once you or the AI take a relic, you'll automatically replace it with the top card of the relic deck. Also, when the AI opponent moves to the Tactics Shrine, it claims the leftmost champion in the row that coincides with the rift area it just moved from. For instance, here it claims this end of game scoring champion, which adds to its points to end game scoring when applicable. This here champion gives points for chained together locations on your skirmish map, so that doesn't apply to the AI, so it'll score 0 for this one. But this other one, it'll score 2 points for each instant champion it has. The amount the AI scores for battle plans has changed as well. It gets 15 points for a 2-dice battle plan, 20 points for a 3-dice battle plan, and 25 points for a 4-dice battle plan, so it can really run away with the score if you let it. The game also adds new champions and a whole new awards section for the Riftlands that are claimed at the Magic Shrine if you achieve it. And so that is everything that the expansion adds. And let me just start off by saying I think this expansion is a must-have. It adds such a puzzliness to your turns that the asymmetrical power that you have, the persistent one, not the one that you unlock later on, which just adds something extra for you, the available relics in the shrine that have such cool powers, and the different champions that you'll have. Especially, I love in the beginning of a game grabbing an ongoing champion and trying to combo that as much as I can and take advantage of it, along with the asymmetrical power that I have. The different relics have such cool powers. The fact that you're limited to only having 2 of them really leads you to, picking up relics and like, man, which one do I want to keep? Which one do I want to get rid of? At the same time, you have the board resets. You're pulling new dice and re-rolling into the different shrines, so, a couple times a game, and so you can shift off of a relic and really maneuver your different little combo abilities. So cool. It really elevates the base game, in my opinion. The ability to draft a die when you go to the shrine it just opens up options. If you have 2 different dice that you want in the champion shrine, You really want the 6, of course, because that's more battle power. You can go to the Riftlands Shrine, pick up the 6, and then hop over there and pick up the 2 so you can get the bigger discount on the champion you want. You'll do that. You'll find yourself doing that in the game. The AI just scores in chunks. It's going to be jumping up 15, 20, 25 points every time it makes, a lap around the board, and you're going to try to have to limit it to its scoring. At the same time, you are going to try and be, maximizing your own scoring for your own battle plans. You've got another award section, as well as the other awards that you're going to have trouble completing all of them, as well as getting your 7 battle plans and picking up the different relics, trying to get as many relics of one type as you can, which you're not going to be able to. You're trying to get more chits than the AI opponent in the different ones. There's a lot going on that you've got to pay attention to as you're playing the game. So you're going to have, more thoughtful turns, almost every step of the way as you go playing the game. So if you liked the think of your turns in the base game, if you own it, then I highly recommend this expansion. It's going to give you more of that. If you like the quicker gameplay, hopping, I can see my next 3-4 turns out, go, 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 you might want to skip this expansion. It may not be for you, because it is going to add, time to the game, because they're going to have more turns where you're thinking, and that's going to slow down the gameplay time. And I actually haven't paid attention to how much time it's taken me to play a game with it, but I know it's longer than the base game was. Maybe it adds a half hour on, maybe more, depending on how much you really want to sit and think your turns out. The game provides just such a sweet decision spot for me. It's got just the right amount of information to juggle around as I'm doing it. The theme's good, the art's good, just like the base game. The one gripe I do have about the game is, and it's not really a gripe, but it is the iconography. It's too much. If you are picking this game up, start with the base game. I mean, you can buy them both, but try to learn the game, just the base game. You have 9 champions that are out. They all have their own, icons on them. So you're going to be back and forth trying to learn, what they mean as you're, picking up the flow of the game and you first learn the game. Then later on, you can add the expansion, which is going to add more icons to the relics, your asymmetrical powers. You're going to have to go back and forth between the book. You also have the newer champions. They come in, they take some of the base game champions and alter their abilities, and not all of the icons are intuitive. Let me show you an example. So without going into detail, there are 17 different icons on these 12 cards, and like I said, none of them are overly difficult to figure out once you're familiar with the symbols, but there are a whole lot of symbols to digest, and that's my big negative. Where is the reference sheet? This game needs one. So I do understand costs, and I know that a 1-page rule sheet for Singularity, a game I designed, would have added $4 to the cost of the game. So I went ahead and omitted that. I felt that it brought the price point up a little too high, but I did make the rule sheet available for print, not only on the GameCrafter website where you purchase it, but on the game's web page itself. And I wish Daily Magic would have considered doing something like that. Anyway, if you're still here, I hope you've enjoyed the review and maybe consider giving the video a like. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing to the Solo Gaming Spotlight community. And if you do own the Riftlands expansion, I'd like to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the expansion? If you could just drop it down in the comments below, that would be great. Also, I have some affiliate links down below, so if you're considering purchasing the game, an act of kindness of clicking through the links to purchase the game would help me to continue to create more content. I will not recommend a game I do not like. If you want to see if our tastes align, I have a top 10 video that will be popping up somewhere on screen right about now that you can click and see if our tastes are, on the same page. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next video.